Ladies and gentlemen, it is the first news episode of the Gift of Gaming podcast in 2024, and oh boy, there's some good news and some bad news coming from January. It's me, your host, Darren Wade, happy to be back, and I'm joined, of course, by the Anchor Team Supreme, Mr. Xbox Games Pass himself, Luke Maycock. Luke, how are you?
What up, Darren? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
My pleasure. Couldn't do without you. And of course, no news team is complete without the console-hating, PC-playing, lore-seeking, full-time Canadian himself, Chris Robbins. Chris.
What's up?
Hey, there you go. I love the pause.
Yeah, I was like, am I supposed to finish this?
I love that. And I've seen some podcasts do before where like people just stay silent for a moment,
Yeah.
so that you think there's something wrong with your. It's like, oh, I'll check. Oh, maybe I put it on pause accidentally. How are you guys? How have you been?
I've been great. I'm good. I'm tired. Not playing a lot of games lately, but busy. Plenty busy. But no, the form is good. I'm ready to get into some news.
It's a pretty miserable fucking day today. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's been. Oh god, yeah. We were just talking the journey to and from work was a nightmare because rain and traffic and all that goodness. But that's not what the listeners are here to listen to. They're here to listen to some news. Chris, how the feck have you been?
Could have been snow, man. You guys complaining about the rain.
I know. You wait.
You don't know what it's like. Uphill both ways.
Wait till we
been in
complain
Ireland?
about snow. Like, wait till we. I mean, we really do enjoy complaining about snow when it happens.
Yeah,
like,
have you been in Ireland for where snow has just shut down the country?
No.
It's
No.
good, 'cause
I missed that. I've heard of it though, and I remember it's like, oh, geez, guys, how much snow did you have? Someone was like 2 inches. I was like I
none.
just laughed.
Like literally none.
That's the thing, like no amount of snow because we just don't have infrastructure for it. So a little bit of snow falls, everything just shuts down. Nobody goes to work.
And it's the saddest thing. I often reminisce about that the great snow day we had back in 2018, where there was enough snow for us and friends to build an igloo, a little bucket list thing, and it was great because no one had to work anymore. Everyone got to go home. But now because of the whole working from home job, I'll never have a snow day again. I'll never have a snow day like 2018 again.
Pandemic ruined snow
Yeah,
days.
but that's
Son of a bitch.
so good when you're just like inside cozy with a nice cuppa and it's just
Snowing outside.
just gross outside. You just
Yeah,
warm.
I enjoyed my day today being in and cozy. But on the formative games, you gentlemen, we were talking about it shortly before the episode, but I have gotten 15 minutes of a taste of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth after that state of play that came out the other day, and oh boy, am I excited to play the real thing.
Is that a good 15 minutes?
It was a great 15 minutes. Yeah. So I think the demo that's there is like 2 hours-ish long, people have been saying online, so I was like, sweet. I'll settle into that after the podcast today and get a good feel for how Rebirth's going to treat me in 3 weeks' time.
Will it do the thing that they did with 16 where they can port over a save? Or,
Yes. So we're getting the chapter 1, which is the flashback scene from Final Fantasy VII, is the opener of the game and what you get in the demo, and that data will carry over. But what's interesting is that when we were doing all the build up to it and stuff, for content creators and stuff, they gave them like a demo build that was a section at the start and kind of like a little bit of an open world section later on in the game, just in Junon. And they have said, which is weird, but I kind of like the idea, they've given us chapter 1, which is the Nibelheim flashback, and then they're going to wait a week or two before they update the demo to give us that little open world section in Junon. So like in between now, when it actually releases, we'll get like an update to play another chapter in the demo, which I thought was
taster, like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here's some more for you fellas to consume, which I'm all about consuming. So.
Yeah, I like how they're treating demos like they're actually using
I hate
them to
demos.
roll out their
I
products.
hate demos.
I have missed demos and
love them in theory.
yeah.
For a game you're absolutely going to buy, I just see demos as a spoiler. I think demos are great for games that you're just like, maybe.
Have you never bought a game because you played a demo?
Have I ever not bought a game because I played the demo?
I mean,
or
like, have you been incentivized to play a game?
Yep.
To buy a game
Yep.
by playing the
Definitely.
demo? Yeah.
Definitely.
I
We
think they
like
work in
PlayStation. You used to get those like
The
demo
demo
discs.
Yeah.
You're gonna come with like
Yeah.
15 games. It was
Yeah.
like,
I-
shit.
It's great.
I can't remember which disc it was. I should do. I think it was like 18 or 14 or something like that, and I had Theme Hospital on it, which I loved.
Yeah, you've mentioned this one before. Yeah.
That I knew it off by. We ruined the disc, but like when you turned it on, blank screen, couldn't see what items were where. But I had played it so often that I knew by pressing left 8 times, pressing X again would have brought me right into Theme Hospital or whatever it was. And I bought the game Theme Hospital then, like, weeks afterwards. Got it for my birthday, whatever.
And that's a game I guarantee you would have never even thought about.
No, never.
Hadn't got
you
a
could
demo.
get that. We were just talking before the podcast as well about your little retro handheld thing with the PlayStation 1 emulator.
Yeah.
You could get Team Hospital on that, surely.
Don't tell me that, Luke.
I'm
going to lose enough time to Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I don't need another.
Waiting for you in your Team Hospital in your pocket wherever you go.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
so good.
Speaking of demos, right now is Steam's Next Fest, and that's all it is just like showcases of upcoming games and free demos. And what is released in open beta, I didn't think it was going to happen to the general public, is Stormgate, which is pretty fun.
Well, you broke my heart and said it wouldn't be coming to console, so now I'm sad.
I don't think there's any it's going to be a free-to-play game. They're really going to push multiplayer over everything, and just like in order to put it on console, you couldn't make console crossplay because you guys would get smashed by PC players. Yeah, and I just don't think there's a big enough market to like. It wouldn't make any money by porting it to a console. This is just my opinion. I don't know. But they also haven't announced anything about it.
That all tracks perfectly.
Yeah. The trailer looked. I watched after you put up that the beta testing was on, and I watched the trailer again for it, and I was like, oh yeah, just such a reminisce of Command and Conquer in terms of its style and stuff like that. I was like, I kind of like a modern day version of that for sure. But we were going to talk about news, fellas, not games that we're playing.
News.
And we'll start off our first article. Let me pull it up here. We were kind of saying that we kind of shimmied around it last year a little bit in trying to keeping the news a little bit more lighthearted and things. There was, job losses and stuff throughout last year. And we
unavoidable this month, though.
Oh, my God. January was... crazy. So Kotaku has a cool article that they have about it that they've been consistently updating throughout the month of January, just about the industry layoffs and stuff like that. So I'll read through it. I'm not going to. There's a couple of big companies that I'll go into kind of what was said about them or said about the layoffs, or if there's any studio that I kind of mentioned throughout this and their losses, just give me a shout if you want to go into what statements were made or anything like that. But I have the article here. So this is coming from Zach Zweisen at Kotaku. Within the last few years, video game industry layoffs have unfortunately become more commonplace. In 2023, we saw nearly weekly layoffs across the entire industry. When the dust had settled, at least 6,000 jobs across publishers, developers, and other video game-related companies had been terminated. Sadly, it appears 2024 will outpace that, if the first few weeks of the year are any indication. Most folks didn't expect 2024 to be much better, but I'm not sure anyone was ready for it to be possibly worse. Yet this year has kicked off with a string of big and small layoffs, signaling that the corporate bloodletting rituals aren't ending anytime soon. So Kotaku is going to try and track all of 2024's layoffs as they happen, and hopefully we don't have to update this post that much. So I don't know if it doesn't look like it's done in any sort of order, but I'll go with Architect is an unknown amount of layoffs. Bossa Studios laid off 19 people in January 5th. Unity Software, 1,800 people. So I'll go into this one a little bit. On January 8th, 2024, Reuters reported the first truly massive round of layoffs for the year as Unity confirmed that it planned to cut nearly 25% of its staff as part of a continued, quote, reset at the company. This is reportedly the largest round of layoffs in the software company's history, and it will be completed by the end of March.
The writing was kind of on the wall with this one, especially with them trying to like...
changing the pricing,
pennies and changing the pricing, and
it's weird how like you wonder. I wonder if this was like a chicken and egg situation. Like, was this part of their restructuring plan from the very start, or did they use the fact that their price just tanked and their reputation tanked as an excuse to offload and downsize and stuff like that? Like, which was planned first? I wouldn't be surprised if it was planned when their price restructuring fiasco
and I guess they must have lost a lot of consumers from the terrible plan they had to change the pricing and everything like that, because they cut nearly 25% of its staff. Like, how do you continue to function and support everybody that's there if you lose a quarter of your staff? Well, obviously I guess everybody that was there is probably no longer there after what happened. What was that, kind of summer last year? Autumn last year, maybe something like that Unity came out and made an absolute hames of the whole changing structure
or something. Mad. And that's, again, obviously, like all of these stories, heartbreaking to hear people losing their jobs off the back of that.
So we continue on, because this doesn't get any better. Go to Twitch with 500 people. So on January 9th, 2024, Bloomberg reported that Twitch was preparing to lay off 500 employees by the end of January. This is about 35% of its total staff. The Amazon-owned video game streaming website previously laid off hundreds of employees last year in March and later in October.
There's more like they're getting kind of bullied by other streaming platforms now too. So they're
what's out there. I mean, because I'm not
YouTube is picking up quite a bit, and there's a new one, Kick. I think it's called, and it has like way less rules and regulations.
Okay.
So
Twitch was quite from the years of watching the odd content creator here and there. Twitch would often it seemed quite strict with its rules. So often I heard of people getting banned or.
And they would also make some of these rules up as new fads came along, because some of these fads were getting fucking out of hand, and like there's
hot
kids
tub
on these
streaming
hot tub streaming, and then there was the new one
Hell's
with the
Kitchen.
there was the new one with they would just wear like censored like black Bristol board over their privates.
Wow. I've not seen that one.
Yeah, so they had to close that one. There was no rules against it, but like.
Well, this is obviously leading towards like
that had to change.
It's weird because
gambling was a big one, and they had to
yeah.
shut that down. But like that, I think I've heard this, but that stuff is allowed on Kick.
Yeah, that's kind of what single-handedly. I think it was Trainwrecks was the really big name in doing that.
Yeah,
and he got a massive contract to go over to Kick, and like I think Kick front him a lot of the money that he uses to gamble. And that kind of thing. So gambling is okay there. It's kosher. I don't think they've cracked down with their DRM stuff. So
was the Pokemon card purchasing a form of gambling? Everyone went mad on spending crazy amounts of money on Pokemon cards and revealing what they got. That to me seems like gambling.
I mean, yeah,
yeah, kind of. A lot of people who do it don't. Most of the people who do, like the Pokemon card streams that I've watched, they don't actually end up reselling the stuff. It's like, oh, I made like $2,000 off this box. That's amazing. But they don't sell any of the cards.
Yeah.
Because they're paying for it with like streamer subscriber money.
It's all the stuff that they're going through subscriptions, whatever else.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, we'll continue on this one. So Playtika lost 300 to 400 people. Discord 170 people on January 11th. So The Verge reported on January 11th, 2024, the popular video game chat software developer Discord was planning to lay off around 17% of the company's total staff. The layoffs were announced in an all-hands meeting, an internal memo obtained by The Verge. CEO Jason Citrin explained in the memo that the company had grown quickly since 2020 and took on too many projects. Quote, today we are increasingly clear on the need to sharpen our focus and improve the way we work together to bring more agility to our organization. Citrin told employees in the memo, this is what largely drove the decision to reduce the size of our workforce. So he's talking about like since 2020, I guess
a lot of this, and I mean, we're only talking about the video game industry related stuff, but this is just industry wide in tech.
Yeah.
And it's, I can't say for sure because I don't know like all these companies, but most of this I'd assume is just bloat from
COVID.
The pandemic.
Yeah.
A lot of companies restructured and put more effort into online services and anything to do along that vein. And now that things have kind of like
petered out again and everyone gets back on with their lives.
Yeah, they need to go for more leaner teams, start cutting costs.
The tech
and I think
winter,
Discord is a great example of this because I don't even know. You don't pay for Discord unless you like signed up for Nitro.
Yeah, they try to push Nitro pretty hard, but I think
I don't know I think I know one person that's ever paid for it.
Yeah, I think I got it once because you get it free with Game Pass, but I don't know if I don't know what it does even.
And you can just create your own everyone who is a free user can create a private server.
Yeah,
which is mental. Like I never thought it was going to be sustainable. Like.
Well, that's the funny thing is because I wouldn't have been too much onto Discord until you became part of the crew, Chris, and you were encouraging, hey, let's set up a Discord chat, whatever else. And I used that a lot for playing D&D over the pandemic and stuff like that. And I was like, this thing's amazing. And then after a while, I was like, how are they affording to continue doing this? Because I'm not paying a cent for this service. It's mental.
But they said in the article they said they laid off 170 people, and that's 17% of their staff. So they had 1,000 employees. Discord. That just seems. I don't know
too
enough
little
about these companies
for what's going on and how many people are using Discord.
I think that's too much.
Yeah, I think that's too much.
Yeah,
that sounds bloaty. I can't. Chris, you could definitely comment way better on this because you work in tech. But
we also don't know if everyone that got laid off was specifically developers either.
No,
it could have been
sure
like marketers and stuff or like QA.
Well, if you have a big downsizing of developers, there's going to be a proportional percentage of production people and production. This is animation breakdown.
But still, that's a lot of people for like it's really a single purpose piece of software, like, and it's pretty well ironed out. I don't know.
Yeah, but as you said, it's like everyone just sat at home and went on to play tons of video games or use a lot more IT stuff than they ever did. Companies just
that could be it. Yeah,
grew massively, and then and they were like, there's so many more people using Discord, which just isn't the case anymore. I
mean, I'm sure there was
that, and like when there was like more people using Discord means more money for them because they're hosting the servers, and we're not paying for them, so there's costs there. So
I think I'd say all those kind of talk and video apps got a bit of a Zoom boom off the back of the pandemic, where people were seeing, like investors were seeing, Zoom is like such a great, and products like it, like Skype and everything, are great to invest in now because this is the future of a sustainable work environment. I know animation studios who do all of their official work communications on Discord.
Yep, my former company, we made the jump from Slack. It wasn't Slack. I worked for another company. I loved Slack, though.
Slack is great. I like Slack a lot.
But I think we were just using like Google Hangouts or something. And then we made the jump to Discord, which was great because you had like the screen sharing and video calls, and it was fantastic. Although it was linked to my personal account, so like I could see what I was playing and stuff. So I had to set all these privacy settings.
I know,
this is weird.
Well, continuing on with these, we got Lost Boys Interactive lost 125 people on January 12th. Fun Selector lost 3 people on January 12th. PTW, formerly Poll to Win, lost 45 people on January 11th. Thunderful, 20% of its staff, around 100 people, lost their jobs on January 17th. Pixelberry Studios, an unknown amount, were let go on January 17th. NetSpeak Games, 25 people, January 16th. Wemo Games, 35 people on January 17th. Behavior Interactive, who are the guys behind Dead by Daylight, lost 45 people between January 9th and January 11th.
Which seems crazy because I thought that was already a small team to begin with. And they also have a lot in the pipeline, so I don't...
That might mean interesting things for the future of the studio. Bigger percentage, if it is a big percentage.
And I think they said, so Kotaku's learned that Dead by Daylight developer Behavior Interactive laid off around 45 people between January 9th and 11th. Individuals with knowledge of the situation confirmed to Kotaku that the layoffs only affected employees at Behavior Interactive's Montreal studio. Kotaku was told layoffs had started in December.
That's their only studio, or their main one at least.
The latest round of cutoffs included staff across different departments, and at least one person has publicly posted about the layoffs on LinkedIn. Recently changing market conditions necessitated adjusting the scope of several behavior projects. In these situations, our preference is always to reassign talent to other projects. Unfortunately, this option is not always available to us. These departures represent less than 3% of our total workforce. So, I mean, small. Well, I mean, big enough, I suppose. Smaller than that.
I thought they were a small studio. I didn't realize.
45 people is 3%.
Yeah.
What? According to that quote, anyway. Yeah.
Maybe there was a different number at the time that was released, because that's
a lot of people for Behavior Interactive.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, still enough. So CI Games, 10%.
Well, what is that? 150, right?
That's
not too bad, actually.
Well, sorry, how much? What percent?
45%. If 45 people is 3%, right? 1% is 15. So that's all. My math?
Quick math.
Dumb here? Yeah. No, sorry, that's 1,500.
Yeah.
Am I an idiot? Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, 1,500. Right.
1,500. Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, that's
a big team.
Those numbers probably don't line up in terms of the timeline of that. But,
okay.
But that's it's probably still like a really sizable chunk.
Well, CI Games lost 10% of its staff, around 15 or 20 people on January 18th. 31st Union has lost under 10, but there's no known exact number. Com to us or Com to US has lost a 2-digit number of people, so it's being kept kind of under wraps at the minute. It's still not known how many people were lost there.
Comcast?
No, Com to US or Com to us. The yes is capital. Never heard about it. It's a Korean company, South Korean mobile and online game company established in 1998. Metaverse World, 70 people. Retrivesoft or NCSoft, 70 people. Riot Games, 530 people. 530, crazy.
Was shocking because they seem like they have infinite money and a ton in the pipeline.
Well, they've got 530 people less to work on that stuff. So the developer and publisher behind League of Legends and Valorant announced on January 22nd that it was cutting 530 jobs, or about 11% of its total workforce. The news was first reported by Bloomberg earlier in the day. Quote, "Today I'm sharing a decision we hoped we would never have to make at Riot," said CEO Dylan Jadeja? Dylan Jadeja. That's a tough one to say together. We're changing some of the bets we've made and shifting how we work across the company to create focus and move us toward a more sustainable future. This decision means we're eliminating about 530 roles globally, which represents around 11% of our workforce, with the biggest impact to teams outside of core development. This also sadly means we'll be saying goodbye to many talented colleagues and friends across all areas of Riot, end quote. They explained that it was winding down its Riot Forge program following the release of Bandle Tale, a League of Legends story. Riot Forge was a program where the publisher worked with outside development teams to create spin-off games set in the larger League of Legends universe. It will also reduce the number of people working on its card game, Legends of Runeterra. The company also released an internal memo sent out to staff on January 22nd announcing the layoffs. In the memo, the CEO said he was accountable for the layoffs, citing Riot having too many things underway as the main reason for the cut. So the quote goes as follows: "Some of the significant investments we've made aren't paying off the way we expected them to. Our costs have grown to the point where they're unsustainable, and we've left ourselves with no room for experimentation or failure, which is vital to a creative company like ours. All of this puts the core of our business at risk." In the internal memo, Riot laid out what it will provide to those folks losing their job, which includes a minimum 6-month severance pay, a cash bonus equal to their 2023 annual performance bonus, a laptop, job placement services, and access to their work email for a limited time after termination.
I think the hardware stuff that they get, like the laptop or whatever, they get it if they had a work laptop. Like they get to keep the work laptop. Or I think, I think that only applies to like if you had a work laptop. If you worked for them and worked on like a Wacom Cintiq drawing tablet, you didn't get to keep that, obviously.
Yeah, okay,
it's
it's
like
just laptops.
4 or 5 grand worth.
Still decent, I guess. I mean, it'd be great if they kept their jobs,
Yeah.
obviously. But yeah, the Riot one was a big one. You put that up. I think when it happened, the actual memo and stuff like that. But yeah, as you said, with League of Legends and everything that's going on there, as Chris, as you said, they should
Just print money.
Yeah,
Give millions away at like, I don't know, the tournaments and stuff. It's crazy that
it's weird. It's wild. These numbers are wild as well, because like 11% is 530, so it's like 4,800.
Yeah,
people
they got their hands
in so many pies,
and and that is split. It's not like just the game studio has that, but they have like film studios around Europe, and now they're technically not owned by Riot. They've divided their esports broadcasting into separate companies. That the book doesn't stop at Riot for those, but they probably count a lot of their staff as Riot staff.
Yeah, I would imagine. So anyone who's making like the Arcane show and
also, it doesn't even account for their TV.
They have that fighting game coming out. Apparently, they have like an MMO or something in the works.
Yeah, it seems like from what I heard when this story broke, it seems like some of the MMO stuff. There's speculation that could just be put on hold now because of the shift and because of the people they let go. Like a lot of the people that they let go there's a lot of story writers that got let go from Riot, and it was interesting. Like just scrolling on Twitter there was a doc published that had like the Twitter handles of everyone who had lost their jobs.
Yeah.
If they wanted to share that they lost their jobs and that they were looking for work, you could check their Twitter and see what they worked on. So I was looking at a few of them, and a lot of them are story writers. Like a lot of them had worked on like legacy kind of story stuff for League of Legends, lore of the characters for League of Legends, and had worked on the MMO. So it's that could spell something for the future of the MMO.
And the MMO strikes me as something that would obviously be like a monthly service fee and stuff like that. Like if Riot didn't have a license for money before, if they released an MMO, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably in the world of League of Legends.
Yeah,
they're creating this MMO. I mean, jeez, putting something like that on hold strikes me as
so much fucking money.
Yeah. And if they do,
I think it's a way better idea than the fighting game they're doing.
I mean, I think it's a better idea than Valorant was, and Valorant's a smash hit. Valorant's a smash hit. So they kind of. It sucks.
Imagine how toxic that community would be, though.
What, Valorant?
Valorant.
No.
The MMO, League of Legends.
MMO.
The most.
Oh my
they
god!
They win awards for the most toxic online MMO community.
When you think of Final Fantasy 14 existing, how different it would be. Like people trying to become professional gamers in the MMO world.
Maybe that's part of the reason why they didn't steer the ship towards. We don't know anything about the MMO definitively, but
yeah,
that could play into.
It's like, well, let's not make things more toxic than they already are.
You
guys.
have a reputation, like
So to keep this going, we have a one-player mission lost 15 people on January 23rd. People Can Fly lost 30 plus people on January 24th. Black Forest Games around 50 people. On doesn't have a date there in January, but then we come to Microsoft, and I'm going to shoehorn another news item that we had on for today in with this little article on the Microsoft job losses. So Microsoft lost 1,900 people. On January 25th, IGN and The Verge first reported that Microsoft was laying off 1,900 people across its various gaming businesses, including Xbox, Activision Blizzard, and ZeniMax. Approximately 8.6% of Microsoft's gaming workforce will lose their jobs, as explained in an internal email from Xbox boss Phil Spencer, obtained by IGN and The Verge. Blizzard President Mike Ybarra and Chief Design Officer Alan Adam have also left the company. The studio's in-development survival game, which was first teased in 2022, has also been cancelled. The layoffs come about 3 months after Microsoft closed its massive and controversial $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. On January 24th, Microsoft became only the third company in history to be worth more than $3 trillion. And still they let 1,900 people go.
Oh, yeah, yes. I think there's... Oh, God, this one... I don't even know where to start with this one. Like, definitely more that COVID bloat. Because Microsoft definitely would have had a lot more involvement in, like, physical retail production and merchandising and all that marketing, which all went out the window, I think, during COVID. So they would have restructured, put everyone online. Now they're probably going to shift everything back and even things out. I'd assume this is just
let me shoehorn this article right in there on your point. Segue. So not shoehorn. I'm going to segue on that one. So Xbox reportedly shuts down physical game release divisions. Chris, so I guess they're not evening out.
Yeah, okay.
They're not evening out the teams. This one comes.
So maybe those could be the layoffs right there.
It is. Some of them also included, yeah.
Did this include, because they also kind of purged Blizzard, didn't they? Aren't they trying to restructure?
Oh, yeah.
There's
been some really aggressive stuff with Blizzard. Oh, what was... I'm trying to remember.
I mean, there was a good news story that your man...
Because Blizzard had one of the best reputations for making the best games ever once upon a time.
Yeah.
And Microsoft knows that, and they probably want that back.
Yeah. I think they gutted from Blizzard. I think they gutted their esports stuff. I think that was most of the cuts.
And what was the head guy that we don't like?
Oh, he's still there.
But there's an agreement for him to leave. I think he's on a transitional period. I think. Yeah, I think there's an agreement with Microsoft that he's out after a certain time. What was his name again?
Is it Kotnik?
Oh God, Kotek. Bob Kotek, something like that. My God, yeah. Well, but just on this one, so this comes from the gamer from Rhiannon Bevan. So Xbox takes another step in going all digital as Microsoft reportedly shuts down departments dedicated to physical game releases. Microsoft has reportedly shut down its division for physical game releases as part of yesterday's mass layoffs. This was done on January 26th, and this has come as an increasing number of new releases opt to release digitally, skipping a physical launch entirely. While this doesn't mean that Xbox is leaving the physical games market, it was later noted that these roles could be outsourced. It suggests that such releases will be deprioritized. This would fit in with Xbox strategy this generation, which has seen it heavily push its digital-only Xbox Series S model, as well as an increased focus on bolstering its Game Pass library. News of Microsoft shutting down its department for physical releases comes from Windows Central journalist Jez Corden, who has shed some light on where yesterday's layoffs will be felt. Quote, Microsoft has also shut down departments dedicated to bring Xbox games to physical retail, which, if you've seen the digital-only Xbox console leaks, well, you can get the idea of where Microsoft is going here. Further down in the thread, he adds, reducing retail teams doesn't confirm Microsoft is quitting physical retail for Xbox games yet. They can outsource, and it might be consolidating here. So don't run with the Xbox is quitting physical based on this, but it does seem to be the industry trajectory. Indeed, many publishers are pushing for an all-digital future. In Xbox's case, that's been through its Games Pass offerings, and its much cheaper Xbox Series S model. As Corden also mentions, leaked documents previously revealed that the next Xbox model will be based on the spec of the Series X, but be digital only, like the Series S. So, yeah, I could see that that's definitely where, after the layoffs, where they've pushed it, they're not going digital. And again, I mean, I've said it before on the podcast many times, I'm not comfortable with an all-digital future.
Yeah. Earlier this year, I shouldn't say this year, because I mean, it's the year just started. But like, yeah, 6 months ago, I would have been all for this idea. But all the fuckery that these companies have been doing lately with their get comfortable with not owning games.
Here you go.
So
this is the end of the article that I was just reading there. Yeah. This remains a contentious topic in the gaming community. Ubisoft recently came under fire after one of its directors suggested that the move to digital, quote, needs to happen and that gamers should become, quote, comfortable with the idea of not owning their games. Given this backlash, it seems the community isn't quite ready to abandon physical games entirely.
If buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. So fuck them.
You heard it here first, guys.
No. That's not my quote. I think that's Lewis Rossman.
But it's true. If I go out and buy Rebirth for 70 quid or whatever, 80 quid, and I have it digitally, like I don't own that really. That could just be taken down off the store, be taken down off. That's crazy. Yeah. What happens to my 80 quid? You know?
I mean, they could still put that. Like, they could just, like, update the firmware on your PS5 when you're not realizing. Like, online connection only so we can verify your games. Oh, you're playing a game that you're not allowed to anymore. Like, they could still do that to physical media.
That's my whole argument. It doesn't make a difference whether it's digital or physical.
It's all in the EULAs, I guess, that you sign when you...
Yeah, it's in the EULAs, and it's in, like, it's how they decide to do their DRM. Like what their DRM policies are, which is totally up to them. Like, you don't have any say over that. If they want to house the DRM in cartridges, or in discs and stuff like that, which I don't actually think is done anymore, but I could be totally wrong on that.
Capcom has been fucking up a lot lately with what they're doing with their games on PC. They're shadow updating even older games that you've owned for years, and like installing new. Oh my God, I can't remember the term for it, but it's something that runs in the background, ensuring you're not modding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People are not happy.
Those are wild.
It's like breaking compatibility with like Steam Deck and stuff. Like, they shadow updated Rise, Monster Hunter Rise,
and doesn't play anymore on the Steam Deck. Yeah,
they've since fixed it, but I mean.
I'm not sure. I could be misremembering this, but I think I had an experience recently with my Switch where I had a cartridge in it, but because the Switch wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi in my new place, I could change the password or something like that, and I couldn't just connect in a snap. I couldn't launch the game. I know that's true for the digitally downloaded stuff, but I think that was true for the cartridge that was actually
that's
in it.
mental. Day
one. There's some games with like day one, like you open it out of the box if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, and like you have to update before you play this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, how the fuck do you know unless that was like programmed into the game?
Yeah, which is another problem I have with day one release stuff for AAA things. But I need to like go back, research that, and I'll confirm on the next episode of the news.
Because I thought Nintendo was one of the few safe ones in terms of cartridges not needing any of that
all the
stuff.
Same, man. They're all the same. All the big gaming dudes they're all playing the same game.
We're doomed. Well, I finished this article about the job loss. Then there's still a couple more companies to go. Sadly, we got Riken Games lost about 60 people. Little Red Dog Games 27 people. Idios Montreal 97 people. Chief Rebel, 21 people. Sega of America, 61 people. Nimble Giant Entertainment, roughly 30 people. Artificier, 28 people. Airship Syndicate, 12 people. And so comes to the end of the article. Here we go. So as of January 31st, 2024, at least 6,194 people have been or will be laid off this year. The video game industry is bigger and makes more money than movies and music combined, bringing a $180 billion profit in 2021 alone. It's also an industry that becomes riskier and more expensive each year as AAA games take longer and cost more to make, leading to a situation where even a single flop can sink a studio or publisher. And the whole industry is also in desperate need of unions to help protect its millions of workers when things don't work out as planned. Until then, corporate greed, industry consolidation, and poor leadership will likely continue to cost thousands of people their jobs, as we've seen at Twitch, Riot, Microsoft, and Unity.
That end of that reading of that list felt a little bit like in, the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows when they're reading out the names of the dead on the radio. Yeah, it felt a kind of vibes like that, where it's like living in a post-apocalypse where you're reading the casualties out. Yeah, sucks, man. Sucks.
And in January, 6,194 people. In 2023 as a whole, there was approximately 6,000. So in a month this year,
Well,
they've lost.
also, isn't this like when most companies start their fiscal year? So this is when they would make those big decisions, right?
Yeah. So this is there's going to be a bit of a bias towards January. And a lot of companies were definitely, exactly. Like a lot of companies were definitely holding off on their planned layoffs until the next fiscal year, until January.
It's crazy. Tech winter is well and truly here, and video game companies can't seem to run themselves too well, as evidenced by all of that. But yeah, hopefully.
Dicking their girls.
Jesus, I hope not. It's a scary old future. But
robots.
What we will do is, I suppose, just to end on that little note, wish all those the people who lost their jobs the best of luck in finding somewhere new to go to. But to help pick it up a little bit, the next article is one of our good dear friend Pal World.
Oh my god!
And Chris, Pal World isn't slowing down.
The little engine that could, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It hits 19 million players across Steam and Xbox. This is coming from The Verge by Andrew Webster. It's only a short thing, and then Chris, I'll let you do your little bit of gushing on it.
I first noticed, I hadn't even heard of it, and I noticed it when it's like Pal World now available on Steam and like the big main page. And I clicked on it. It was decently priced. It was 10% off on release. Well, early access release. I was looking through it. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Pokemon with guns. Base building. This is kind of funny, but this is definitely a meme game. Like, I'm not, this isn't going to be successful. I'm surprised it was even on the main page. I was such a fucking idiot, man. Like, I think it was 3 days later, it became the number 2 concurrent players playing it on Steam next to, so it was at 2.1 million.
Yeah.
The next highest was PUBG, which was like 3.3 or 3.6, and it hit that player count when it went free to play. So this is a game that's €30 and it hit those numbers. And I played a bit of it, not too long. I couldn't get too into it because any longtime user knows I have major open world fatigue, and like not only does this game have open world fatigue, and I know everyone's talking about like, oh, it's just ripping off Pokemon, but it is so much more than that. It's like Pokemon meets Breath of the Wild meets Valheim. There's so much going on that I had no idea where to even start. But I couldn't believe that this game got so big, and it's still so fucking big. Although I think Counter-Strike is officially back to being the peak player count.
Well, yeah,
or day-to-day on a day-to-day basis.
Normal programming resumes for a little while,
but it's still I checked today. It was Counter-Strike, and then not too far behind was still Power World.
Do you want me to read out some of the stats?
Yeah, please.
So the game has sold 12 million copies on Steam and has secured the biggest third-party launch on Xbox Games Pass ever. Surprise viral gaming hit Power World continues to reach new player milestones. Today, developer Pocket Pair announced that the game has sold 12 million copies on Steam and reached 7 million players on Xbox. The Xbox number includes both sales and those who played via Games Pass, but the breakdown between the two isn't clear. According to Microsoft, though, these numbers make Pal World the biggest third party, i.e. a game not made by an internal Microsoft studio, launch in Games Pass history. The company says it, quote, recently reached a peak of nearly 3 million daily active users on Xbox, making it the most played game on our platform at that time. Of course, we already knew Pal World was popular. The game sold 5 million copies in its first 3 days and has reached the second highest all-time peak concurrent player count on Steam.
Those were the words I was trying to say.
Yeah. It's a tough one, but the news does not show that the game may be more than just a flash-in-the-pan viral sensation as sales continue to grow. All that success has garnered the attention of the Pokemon Company, which says that it will, quote, investigate the game after claims of plagiarism, as well as copycats releasing similar apps on iPhone and Android. Power World is still technically in early access, and the developers have outlined a roadmap for the future that includes raid bosses, PvP, and cross-play support. And I have no doubt that they have the finances behind them now in order to
oh my god, these guys
complete
have
that roadmap.
No idea. Like the owner of this company is now like swimming in a pile of money, like my boy Scrooge McDuck.
They're like, it did how well?
Yeah.
You mean 2,000? No, 2 million concurrent players on Steam. What?
It is mental because I was.
Everyone take a vacation. The owner of that company probably would. Have you seen his tweets? Because they got they got like death threats. Like people are going after that company. They're
God.
so crazy.
Why?
Pokemon fans. They're fucking nuts, man. And they started threatening. And he came out with a tweet saying, like, don't threaten any of my staff. This was my idea. This is my baby. I'm making it happen.
And do you know why they
Give me all that smoke. And, like, if the owner of the company is like, you come to me if you got a problem.
And do you know why they're going after him and they're so angry? It's because they wish this is what Pokemon was.
Yeah, no
they
shit.
wish this is what Pokemon was.
They're just holding their Nintendo Switch, throwing it.
Yeah, still with like Scarlet and Violet in there, I think being like, this game's so shit.
Man, I love it. It's so good. It's so good for competition. If you're a Pokemon fan, like if you're a Pokemon fan, this is great. Yeah, like a competitor to Pokemon that does all the things that Pokemon
Game Freak
would dare
has to
never
do better now. They have to.
And that's what I mean.
Time.
I have no interest in playing Power World. I saw it, looked at it, and was like, oh yeah, it looks like fun. I love what's happening in the industry around it. But one of the things that I did get hyped up about seeing it, I was like, well, Game Freak now have to answer this. Like, you can't, and they've taken their player base for granted for fucking years.
Yeah.
For years. Like, they haven't created a good Pokemon game in, since Silver, Gold, really? I mean, the last one I played through in its entirety was Sword and Shield.
I think Black and White was meant to be pretty widely accepted. I can't remember, though.
Yeah, it was seen as being pretty good. It was a bit edgier, but it wasn't anything.
Yeah. It was also back in, 2008 or 9, Black and White?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like 2007.
But even, like, the big Pokemon players aren't even playing, like, the games. They're using the
fan-made ones, isn't it?
Not even the fan-made ones. They're just using that online, like, battler where you could just construct your team and stuff,
which is third party.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
that one doesn't make money, I don't think, so they can't really shut it down.
It doesn't make money, but Pokemon should facilitate.
But Game Freak, Game Freak are such a greedy company in terms of we're going to do minimal effort to make this game that they must look at Power and say, hang on, this is a small enough team. They've made this game with this idea, and it's made them fucking millions. Like, I really hope it just puts people
in early access. Like, the game isn't even complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's great. I think it's really good for the Pokemon scene in general. I'm curious about like the Game Freak thing. I never know whether it's Game Freak that are letting people down or whether it's the Pokemon company, which is like the thing that controls the IP.
Yeah, true. I don't know which one is holding the reins on that one. But I mean, you look at Power World, you have to say to yourself, there is a better business model we could be following for these Pokemon video games to make us a fuck ton of money and to actually make your player base happy.
Indie companies, man, they just try harder.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Game Freak got too comfortable, or the Pokemon company, whichever. I don't mean to be picking one or the other.
If it wasn't Game Freak that was holding it back, like they were just filling out their like directive each time. Now they can go, if they were being held back, they have the chance to go to the Pokemon company and be like, hey, give us more money, let us try something
what we
more
could
experimental.
make.
This thing is printing money, we could have done this all along.
I could just see some angry dude like in the shadows like, no, feed them the same shit again.
It's like a giant Pikachu in his suit.
Is Tremon popular yet?
They'll eat it and they'll love it.
Oh man, terrible, but I love it. I think it's great. We also had in January a PlayStation State of Play. Chris, you watched that, didn't you, when it came out?
Yeah.
You weren't. I mean, I'll run through the games that were announced on it, and then we can kind of talk about your thoughts on some of them. But this comes from IGN, from Logan Plant. So PlayStation hosted its first State of Play event of 2024 today, and we got over 40 minutes of updates on games coming to PS5. This is on the 29th of January, by the way, thereabouts, I think. This included extended looks at Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin, as well as some surprises like Death Stranding 2 on the beach and Sonic X Shadow Generations. Here's everything that happened at the 2024 State of Play. So every game that was featured, we got a Death Stranding 2 is officially titled Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Kojima Productions shared a traditionally lengthy trailer for Death Stranding 2, which is now officially titled Death Stranding 2 on the Beach.
Understatement.
Dude, man, I thought I was having a fever dream watching this trailer. Have you seen it, Luke?
No, I still haven't seen it.
Oh man.
Fuck.
If you're looking for a wild ride, watch the 9.5 minute trailer that we got for Death Stranding 2.
9.5 minutes?
Yeah,
it never ended.
I think it was like 34% of the time for the whole State of Play. And then he continued on after talking about other, I don't know, I tuned out.
His other projects.
Yeah, so I'll go on to, I mean, I was not interested in Death Stranding, the first one at all. Like, I didn't want a fucking FedEx simulator. No thanks, doesn't do anything for me. Gameplay looked really dull and boring. This one, I think he's gotten the message and said, well, I still want to use my idea, but I suppose I have to make a game fun, because this one seems to have a bit more, what we've seen, a bit more action-y based or whatever. But so he afterwards was quite a cool thing that they did, because they had interviewing the head of Sony and Hideo Kojima were standing side by side and talking about Kojima's future projects, and one of them is he's going to make a new action espionage game which will start developing the moment Death Stranding 2 is released. And he talked about how it was going to be in quote it will attempt to blur the lines between video games and film. But when he finished speaking, the camera zoomed out from where they were. So the camera was obviously a drone, and it zoomed out from where they were, and it zoomed out. It was in the Sony Pictures studio in Hollywood, whatever, the movie making place. So it's like, hey, we're doing big things with, a new movie/video game action espionage game.
Oh, get ready to pay €70 for a movie ticket.
Wasn't Kojima like over one of those like FMV games? No, it wasn't an FMV game actually. It was almost like a choose your own adventure kind of style thing. It was like a critical darling back in like the 80s. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I could see him doing, if anyone in the games industry is going to bring back FMV games, which are the games that have filmed segments that you make.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. You ever watch the Angry Video Game Nerd? He's played a fair few. They're fucking awful.
Yeah, like what's Night Trap or whatever.
What's funny is that like
Trap, exactly, and like or good guys don't wear ties or something.
If anyone's going to bring that back though,
it'll be Kojima.
Going to be Hideo Kojima.
I mean, like if you've played Metal Gear Solid 4, that has, I think, still to date the longest cutscene in video game history. I was watching it and I was like, I don't know if I had to go for dinner or whatever else. You couldn't pause the fucking thing at the time either. 40-something minutes long was this trailer, inverted quotes. It's a whole scene on the river where Big Boss gets, is captured and Snake is trying to
40 minutes?
It's so long.
You couldn't pause it? Could you skip it?
Nope.
Nope.
They just take 40 minutes. Fuck that, man.
Out of nowhere, like you're in the middle of your day, you only have like a couple of minutes to play a game, and it's like, what? So you turn off your PlayStation
you have
or you watch
it.
Yeah, and rewatch it again later. Yeah.
Wild.
So that's what's coming for us. So also on the State of Play, we got a deep dive on Team Ninja's Rise of the Ronin, which looks okay, but God love them, it's releasing on March 22nd, which is also the date that Dragon's Dogma 2 is being released. So Rise of the Ronin is going to get lost in the rip.
Isn't that the one that looks like it looked like Sekiro, right?
It's kind of Sekiro, and
you had the chain thing too. And
it's kind of a mix between that and like is it Onimusha, that kind of style of
Ghost of Tsushima.
There you go, that kind of style. We got an Until Dawn remaster coming to PS5 and PC. Yeah, that's right. We got a deep dive into Stellar Blade, which is also a big. It looks like a Nier Automata complete rip off.
I think I missed that one.
It's what it opened with, I think. It started with.
Oh, yeah, I did miss the opening.
And then we got Capcom shares another Dragon's Dogma 2 trailer. And I have to say, I was telling Kev about Dragon's Dogma for ages because he was like, a trailer ages ago, I was like, that game doesn't look that good. And I was kind of saying, when the first one came out and I was playing it, it didn't look amazing. But the storytelling in Dragon's Dogma was one of my favorites. But this trailer came out on the State of Play, and it looks like a great game. Yeah, it's a much better trailer than what
my problem with the original one is every time I try to play it, because I was looking for something like felt a bit Soulsy, I would just end up playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's the better option here. We got a Sonic X Shadow Generations announced, which I'd be keen on because I never bought Sonic Generations, but I'd be keen to play Sonic Generations, and if it's one with just extra Shadow content, count me in.
No, I think this one is just Shadow.
No, it's I think it's Sonic X Shadow Generations. So I think it's the Sonic Generations game with a whole
I think they just
Shadow.
put Sonic in there because it's a Sonic Universe game. I think this
Sega revealed Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is an enhanced remaster of Sonic Generations with new content.
Oh,
so you never played Sonic Generations?
No, I played the first one. The first one was great.
Yeah,
played it, but never bought it. Graham had it. My brother had it.
I played it on the Dreamcast, and the Dreamcast used to have this. Did you ever have a Dreamcast?
Yes.
Yeah, and they had the wild memory cards.
Yeah.
So there you could raise. I think they were called Cheos, and you could pull the memory card out, and it was like a Tamagotchi. You could play with your Cheo on the go. It was the wildest fucking thing.
The
I've ever
Dreamcast
seen.
was meant to, and it was a pity. We got a len of that off my cousins years ago. They had one, and it was like I was looking at this thing, being like,
it was ahead of its generation. It's so sad that was the.
So this is
the
Sonic.
failure.
I think the one you're talking about, Sonic Adventure.
Oh, that is the one.
Generations is like a remaster with like 2D, 3D Sonic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely talking about Sonic Adventure for
the because I remember
Sega
that coming out on Dreamcast. Yeah. No, Generations was was a banger. I didn't play the newer Sonic game, which got some critical, like, good reception.
Frontiers?
Mania.
No, Frontiers.
Mania wasn't even the Sonic. It was just like another company that was just like, I want old Sonic games, and they got the
IP.
Yeah,
somehow?
no, they got greenlit to make an old Sonic game, and it was a banger. But he's talking about Sonic Frontier.
Yeah,
which
Frontiers.
I thought looked fucking dreadful, but
It looked weird.
Yeah.
It looked weird, but it was like received pretty well. The fans seem to like it generally. But I think since Sonic Generations, there hasn't been a Sonic game that was that well received. Because
No.
Generations was a reason
Where
they're doing
it was like a
remakes.
werewolf and shit.
yeah.
We had the Sonic and the Black Knight.
Oh god, there's so many bad Sonic games.
Yeah.
It's one of those IPs from a video game perspective that has absolutely been dragged through the mud for a lot of its lifetime. Like,
And
you
the
know.
fans are still hanging
We're still waiting. We've got Generations. Also, we got Silent Hill, the short message, which dropped straight after the showcase. It was I thought it was VR, but it's just a first-person Silent Hill experience. It looks quite good. That's available now, I guess, to get. And then
That was
after
available
that,
after the
state of play,
yeah.
and then after
I
that,
think
they
it was
announced
free too.
Yeah, free to play.
Wow, cool.
They're just trying to pull people into the whole Silent Hill thing because after that they announced the Silent Hill 2 remake, which actually does not look great.
Re-announced because we already knew that was in the making.
Yeah, I think it had been leaked that Konami were coming back to do a couple of bits and pieces, but we had did we get an official look?
I've had that wish listed on my Steam for ages,
Oh,
so maybe
right,
it just
okay.
got announced for PlayStation. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah. We get a
It's
state
we've
of play.
known about that
But
for.
it doesn't look
Wow.
great, no?
No,
No.
it looked a bit clunky.
Yeah.
It's weird.
The
'cause-
fighting wasn't great, but then again, Silent Hill. Who cares about the fighting? I just want the spookiness.
Yeah, the spookiness. It's funny, happy coincidence kind of thing. I was just watching a video essay about Silent Hill 2 today while I was in work, and some of the stuff that they pull off in that game is just super groundbreaking. Like a bunch of the cutscenes in it are like graphics the likes of which you never see.
That's the interesting thing about it, is that watching this remake, the footage for the remake, I was like, oh, it's almost as if the style for the original one in the cutscenes looks better in a way than what I'm looking at in this remake. It's kind of like, I don't know if they've tried to make it a little bit too clean, and the graininess of the original Silent Hill 2 was what made it so kind of spooky, and it's kind of been cleaned up or washed up too well or something. It just doesn't look great.
It's one of those examples of like a Shadow of the Colossus type situation, where Shadow of the Colossus has a very specific atmosphere in it, which wasn't like, it was in part like creative direction, but it was also just because of the limits of the PS2.
Yeah.
Like, it took ages to load, and when it did load, the draw distance was as big as they could make it, but they kind of induced a sort of fog of war situation, and it just gave the game this atmosphere. But then when you're doing the remakes of it, they talked about how difficult it was to recreate that atmosphere because they don't have the draw distance limitations, so they have to go in and
make essentially a draw distance almost.
but like treat it as if they have these limitations and what they're sacrificing and stuff. Like, it was a very balanced game. I get the same feeling watching like old playthroughs of Silent Hill 2, that the graininess and the mist and
helped with
sold the feeling of the game. So interesting topic, but that'd be cool to see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. We got V Rising is coming to PlayStation 5, which is like a Diablo kind of survivor builder game, isometric action game. Dave the Diver is coming to PlayStation with a Godzilla themed package for it, which is actually quite good because I recently saw Godzilla -1.
Oh, no spoilers, please.
Oh no, just that it's incredibly good film, but like it looks more towards like the original version of Godzilla as opposed to Hollywood's kind of take on it.
Which I love all Godzillas.
even the Godzilla.
Yeah,
Matthew
you know what? The
Broderick.
campier, the better.
The Godzilla running with King Kong to save the world from who knows what.
Godzilla with the side feature of Puff Daddy rapping. Fantastic. I love it all, man. Yeah,
I rewatched that recently. It's so good. It's so good.
Then we got Zenless Zone Zero is in development for PS5. That looked yeah, I could sleep on that one for sure. Get it? Z's. Haha. Metro Awakening VR trailer. Again, just a cool look at the Metro series in VR, and it's kind of set, I think, at the beginning of when the kind of the nuclear fallout starts, which is a cool one. Then we got Legendary Tales revealed for PlayStation VR 2, which is like a medieval it's a combat game with magic swords, hammers, in a fantasy environment. And I actually was like, I'm still not fully sold on VR yet, but I was looking at this trailer, and there's a song with it, and like some of the actions are done in time with the song, and it absolutely had me pumped. I was like, I fucking, this looks like a lot of fun, you know. Then we got the new Foam Stars trailer. ahead of the launch.
Oh yeah, Niall was scrolling on his PlayStation the other day. It was like, "Is that Splatoon?" And he's like,
Oh
"No,
my
it's
God.
foam stairs."
Yeah, it does
He
not
didn't
look
actually
good.
say it like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. But then the last thing we have to announce is what the actual State of Play opened with was the Helldivers 2 trailer. And the State of Play kicked off with a brief look at Helldivers 2, and we got a look at the game's multiplayer shooter action ahead of its launch on February 8th. So it's actually came out today. As I'm recording this, happy
isn't
Helldivers.
your brother trying to
Andrew, he's trying to wrangle everybody, and it's a pity he's trying to wrangle everybody on the month that Rebirth's coming out, the day after the Rebirth demo came out. So I'm like, I can't help you,
He
buddy.
knows he has to get you all now, or else you're just going to disappear into Rebirth when that comes out.
And I will disappear into Rebirth when that comes out. I
So
will play
will he, though.
I will yeah, exactly, yeah. I'll play Helldivers 2 probably when it goes on sale. I'll pick it up. I loved Helldivers. I played a lot of that during COVID with Craig and Colum, and
I bet you that game goes free on PlayStation Store in like 6 months.
comes out with some of the free games so that per month or whatever.
Because you guys have that too, right? You get the free games.
Free games every month. And that's what I like. They're kind of changing their model a little bit, which is cool. There's a lot more free games coming to the certain levels of PlayStation Plus that you own.
Yeah, what's the studio that does Helldivers? Is it a familiar one or?
Let me just have a look here while I can check my interweb. Good question. But as Andrew said, it's just Starship Troopers, the game.
Yeah, the way they their trailers and stuff, all the marketing material is just Starship Troopers. Like,
Yeah. Who is it by?
testing out your real time.
Arrowhead Game Studios.
No, doesn't ring a bell.
But
yeah, first game received really well. So
yeah, I'll play that. So that's everything that came out on the State of Play. I enjoyed what I was watching, especially because it finished on what was the fucking wackiest video game trailer I've ever seen. Luke, please watch the
I will.
and let me know what
watch
you think of it. The Death Stranding 2 thing is amazing.
I just couldn't believe it kept going on.
Oh man, and it just gets wackier and wackier and wackier.
I'm sad that I have to watch this knowing how long the trailer is, because I'd love to experience a 9-minute trailer not knowing it's going to be 9 minutes.
And it's crazy. At one point,
You're sure it's over? Like they start showing like credits or something, don't they?
And then it comes back in. Comes back in. Yeah,
it's like a movie.
And it's because it's the Death Stranding world. It's a Strand type game. The guy thinks he can make up his own genres. Kojima's fucking crazy, man. But there's a scene in it where one of the characters hands what's the dude from Walking Dead called? The guy who's in it?
Mads Mikkelsen?
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Yeah. What was the? It was Norman Reedus and the. Norman Reedus and the fetus. Was that what was going about when Death Stranding first came out? Because of the tiny little baby thing. But yeah, so he gets handed a doll, like a little puppet thing.
Oh, the fucking puppet.
And the puppet,
the weird frame rate.
It's animated really in a weird frame rate, and he talks real funny. And I was like, this game is.
And it
talks. Hangs out on his waist.
It's Mimir's head.
Essentially, yeah. There you go.
Right. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Don't be, man.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Troy Baker with fighting people with a guitar.
Why don't you follow it up with Christopher Judge's speech?
This sounds great.
You'll have a blast, man. You'll have a blast. But we'll finish up on this a little, a nice little note. Luke, you added this one in kind of a little bit later on today, just to kind of finish it off. So this is from Kyle Orland at Ars Technica, and it's titled 34 Years Later, a 13-year-old hits the NES Tetris kill screen. So for decades after its 1989 release, each of the hundreds of millions of standard NES Tetris games ended the same way. A block reaches the top of the screen and triggers a game over message. That 34-year streak was finally broken on December 21st, 2023, when 13-year-old phenomenon Blue Scooty became the first human to reach the game's kill screen after a 40-minute, 1,511 line performance, crashing the game by reaching its functional limits. What makes Blue Scooty's achievement even more incredible, as noted in some excellent YouTube summaries of the scene, is that until just a few years ago, the Tetris community at large assumed it was functionally impossible for a human to get much past 290 lines. Fuck, 290 and he got to 1,500. The road to the first NES Tetris kill screen highlights a surprisingly robust competitive scene that still surrounds the classic game, and just how much that competitive community has been able to collectively improve in a relatively short time. The article goes on for way longer about the tactics and everything like that.
The grip.
Yeah, I didn't think it was necessary to go into that, but that is hats off to that 13-year-old killing Tetris.
Maybe it's just the pessimist in me, but it didn't happen. Assisted speed run.
He live streamed it as well.
The video is worth a watch as well. Just his reaction to doing it is amazing, and it's interesting because apparently he had an opportunity a couple of lines prior to that to get to the kill screen, but you're meant to complete. I don't know. It's like there's some weird thing, but if you finish a line after a certain amount of lines have been done, but you do it by just clearing one line of Tetris blocks, it'll do the kill screen. He accidentally put in a shape that killed 3 lines, so he didn't get the kill screen, and he had to keep playing at top speed and whatever else for another couple of lines until he could do it again to get the kill screen. So he almost missed it.
And it's like it gets to top speed after, like a lot of people get it to the top speed state, but they lose really quickly after that because top speed is like really fucking hard to do. I don't know a ton about Tetris.
Yeah.
I'm just chuffed. What I was looking forward to was all the people who came out being like, yeah, I beat Tetris years ago, I just didn't record it.
Yeah.
Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell.
No, let me show you the videotape somewhere.
Oh man, I'm so glad you put me onto that he does cameos now, like Billy Mitchell. What a hilarious dude. So that's it for news items, fellas. Nice. For January. Nice in a little note, but yeah, it sucks the job loss and stuff like that, but hopefully that's the worst of it for the year. We can keep our fingers crossed, but until then, Tetris 34-year-old game finally beat, this game's got some serious longevity back from the 80s apparently. Like
yeah.
But yeah, I guess to our listeners, we're hopping on to do the finale of the Battle Royale after this, and if you're not part of the Patreon, go to patreon.com/the gift of gaming. You can sign up there for the cost of a coffee a month, and you can get our whole Battle Royale series, all our extra news items. There's loads of extra content up there worth checking out. But until then, we'll catch you next week. Craig and Luke, thank you, or Chris and Luke. Oh my god, Chris, I'm so sorry. Chris and Luke, thank you so much for sticking around for the episode. And to our listeners, as always and forever, keep enjoying the gift that is gaming. Peace out.